I'm on my, yes, I'm on my.
Are the ad accounts going to be okay while we travel across the Pacific?
If you're one of our clients, yes. If you're one of our employees, you better not.
Matthew, the vlog would like to know what are your thoughts on this 26-hour journey?
It's nuts.
Are you excited to cross the Pacific for the first time?
No.
No?
No.
Are you excited for the pod?
Yeah.
Why are you excited for the pod?
So I can sleep. Well, there's no Wi-Fi, so it's a hollow victory.
It's a hollow victory.
I don't care. If it's like $1,000, we're buying it. So we're about to land in San Francisco. We got 4 hours to head on our next flight to Melbourne, Australia. That one's gonna be fun. Matt's been working on some campaigns, and you can tell he's a bit tired from working on some Google campaigns on this flight. Rohan and I have been doing nothing but consuming fine wines. I'm excited for this next flight because I'm going to be building a lot of digital expert content on that flight. And when I mean building, I mean slides that you guys are going to be watching. So yes, that's what we're going to be doing. You know, we get to be away from this cloudy San Francisco weather. Melbourne, Brisbane, and Sydney for the next 10 days. So for those of you that have followed me for long enough, know that I have a slight infatuation with Australia. But I love the country, love what it's done for us. If you have not seen a story time on Instagram, follow Instagram right now because I just did a story time telling about my entire Australia story. And right here, like right there. Hope you enjoy this travel vlog. Maybe we'll do a little time lapse as we land into San Francisco. So see you at the lounge. Easy. Typical Air Canada, always delayed. Now we're gonna go find a lounge. Hanging out for about 4 hours. We were gonna run a big event in Sydney and then realized we don't really have that much time. So now we're gonna run a mini mastermind in Sydney because all of my Instagram followers that deserve our time because they all have wanted to meet up with me. We're gonna give them the opportunity to do that while we're in Melbourne. So right now I'm just kind of sharing with them what they get to learn. So I'm just kind of putting all that together on the Instagram stories. If you don't know story time, you're missing story. Anyways, we gotta figure out if I'm TSA pre or not.
Is there a reason you like to go to lounges?
Free booze, free food. Our plane's already boarding. And according to Matt, this is called Great Papon. What he means by Great Papon is it's not great, but it's delicious enough to keep us awake for the next 6 hours we need to be. And yeah, Matt decided to chug he's gonna be chugging 2 Red Bulls, so you can see him chug.
getting 2 plastic straws and dragging these two.
Not paper? Because
No.
you know my love for paper
I said
straws.
plastic on purpose.
So Matt, you're gonna do a chug challenge for the vlog? So on the plane, he's gonna chug both of those.
We should probably get going because
Our plane's already boarding.
that's boring. So, all right, vlog. So Matt's gonna have to do this now because the flight's a little bit delayed, and I don't think he can wait. So he's gonna do the Red Bull chug now.
Good year.
You're swirling it to get the best out of it.
Slowing down. All right.
And he's back to ad accounts. When my sales are performing bad, that's what I like to do. A little Great Papon. That hurts.
What do we call that?
Great Papon.
Now that he's chugged 2 and working on figuring out what movies he wants to watch on the plane instead of doing ad accounts, I've chugged 1. He's gonna chug a very beautiful 2012 blend of Great Papon White.
Jesus Juice 2012. Keep me alive through the bullshit.
That hurts when you chug it, doesn't it?
At 7 o'clock at night, we staying up, baby.
Well, this is my last, actually, we closed out 2019. This is my last business trip of the year. I got one more trip after this when I get home, and then I'm done for this year. Because I've not been on like 18 or 19 trips this year alone, so.
10 hours later.
Heading to a client of ours, one of our top 3 clients. Funny enough, for the last 10 days we've been to 2 of the top 3 clients. Who's the 3rd one? We have to find out. To go meet with them. This was an interesting one because this time last year I was here, or 2 weeks from now I was here, and I was at a bar down the road at the Crown Casino in Melbourne, and I ran into the 2 of the 3 gentlemen we're about to see and started talking shop, talking about what we did at GrowRev. They were madly impressed. Fast forward about 4 months later, they're a client of ours, they become a client of ours. Fast forward to today. The ROI of that bar is probably about 7 figures to us as of right now. So, network. If you haven't already watched some of my network videos, click up here. I teach you guys how to network. Click there, because that's the #1 skill set on how to build any company with or without money.
And they do like sign up for a newsletter, and then they'll also do.
On that?
Yeah, they make a ton of money off that.
No way.
That seems to be the biggest thing.
That makes
When they came to me post the MOB, and then they went on their own, and I'm like, if you guys do anything near to what,
But I think honestly, it's really gonna kind of audience building and direct response is gonna be separated in the future, where it's like 2 separate campaigns, where you're lead genning and getting clicks at the lowest cost possible one campaign, and then the other one after the fact is where you try to convert them, and hopefully you could do it via email or some cheap medium for it, messenger bots, etc. So like that's when you want to hit them, or your CTAs are directly in the book, you know, and just in that content. So it's kind of like, because people know what's going on now, they know. So now you have to be stealth about it. You want stealth content where it's like Sam Ovens is a perfect example. He uses his weekly YouTube videos as his fucking VSL now. I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? The VSL was the YouTube video that I just watched, and I'm like, I get it. That makes perfect sense now because
YouTube is just so long.
Yeah.
It's boring if you ask me. It's not very exciting.
no, it's not.
And it's too long.
It's weird. I agree with that 100%, but it's for one of our clients that we're seeing in Brisbane, it worked really well for them.
A demo.
Demo, 45-minute demo funnel.
Yeah, just them walking through the video.
Yeah.
Maybe
Is that like a
maybe it's
walkthrough of
niche.
the
I'm
members
not saying
area?
it's bad, I'm just saying it's working.
You couldn't get me to convert doing that.
You wouldn't do it
Yeah.
because you're thinking you're busy, I'm busy. You know, we wouldn't do it. But the people we're selling to, that's what they.
I don't think I've ever sat through a whole webinar.
Yeah.
I've bought 10K courses just on the basis of the traffic and funnels newsletter.
Yeah, but we're like an anomaly to
Yeah,
that.
we're not that
And like you have to, I call it being romantic with people. You need to, be romantic with them for about 2 hours before you can try to bring them back to your apartment.
What
you know?
about that's you're testing that, and I can see other people doing that, Rohan. So that's we'll get across that.
Show rate's such a big deal right now.
Your the way you guys do show rate targeting is really good. I think we've seen that improve a lot. And what you just described there, Rohan, we started that about 3 years ago with fitness campaigns.
What's that? The market update.
Yeah, segmentation early, and then move into registration about three weeks out.
Melbourne, what's happening with the Melbourne market?
Yeah.
Very irresistible.
Well, we're back at the Airbnb. There's this view, as you can see. It's absolutely amazing. Where we're staying in Melbourne. This is our last day here. Last night we finished up. We had a long meeting with one of our clients. It was supposed to be 4 hours, ended up being 8 hours. I ended up going for some delicious Greek food, and got home pretty late. So woke up this morning. We got a meeting today with Facebook to go over Q1 planning with them. That's part of the reason why we come down to Melbourne every year and then go to Sydney as well, is so that we can get Q1 done with them. Now, as you can see behind me, beautiful views that I love of Melbourne. Love my clients, love the city. However, where we're going after our Facebook meeting is like typical postcard Australia. So for those of you that have never been to Australia and want to see that, that's where the next vlog is going to be into, and that's going to be the beautiful Gold Coast, Australia. So I look forward to seeing you on the beaches.